You would be forgiven for thinking, I'm sure, that you had a fundamental right to watch the election news and election debates so as to assist your decision to cast your vote in this upcoming democratic election in the United Kingdom. That is precisely what one of you guys, my viewers, said to me by an email. In fact, I've had several emails about this, so I thought I'd couple them all together, and I even contacted the TV licensing press office about this issue. You probably know where I'm going. Before we go there, if you're new to me, I'm Daniel Shensmith, a barrister of England and Wales. Please do subscribe, that helps my channel grow. And if you're watching internationally, we still have a TV license in the UK. We have to pay a fee if you want to watch or record live TV or watch BBC programmes on BBC iPlayer. And that applies to any device. Now, all of that is very important. The specific wording is very important. But let's wind it back a bit, because one of my viewers wrote in and said that it should be a fundamental right to watch the election news and debates on TV to assist with your voting choice. I agree, it should be, but it isn't. It isn't a fundamental right, at least not without a TV license. And so that, among other questions, I thought, what great questions to pose to the press office at TV licensing. So I thought I'd approach them for question. So I did. I emailed them. I said, dear press office, I have several viewers ask the question, may we watch the election news and live debates without a TV license? One viewer in particular commented on the recent non-neutral language of Ms. Geeta Guru-Murthy in respect of Nigel Farage in support of the question. If you missed that, that was an apology that she broadcast on BBC because of the non-neutral language in respect of Nigel Farage, saying that it was his customary inflammatory language. Now, that was obviously not neutral, and she shouldn't have said it. And to her credit, she did apologise very quickly, in which Nigel Farage accepted. Another viewer commented, as I quoted here to the press office, it should be a fundamental right to watch the election news and debate on TV to assist with your voting choice. I said I'd be grateful for any comment by midday. We are past midday by a long shot now, before I publish my commentary on the issue. Now, I was hoping for something really deep and meaningful, and maybe even, do you know what, in a democratic society, maybe we should have a fundamental right to watch news about the debates and the election and things like that, so as to inform your choice. But no, the answer that came back was fairly generic. It says, and I won't disclose the name so as to embarrass them, but it says, you need a TV license to watch TV. The information is on the website. A TV license covers you to copy and paste, and you can tell it's copy and paste because it's a slightly different font. Watch or record TV on any channel on any TV service like Sky, Virgin Media and Freeview. Now, I take very slight issue with the response here because it is not any TV on any channel or any service. It is live TV. Record, obviously, would probably be live if you're recording it, but otherwise it's on demand. So that bit's probably okay. But watch TV on any channel like Sky, Virgin, etc., is not necessarily accurate, because if it's not live, you can watch it and you don't need a TV license for that. So a slight discrepancy in the wording yet again. The next bit, watch live on streaming services like ITVX, All4, YouTube and Amazon Prime Video. That is not entirely accurate either, because it says watch live. Now, if I do a live broadcast on my YouTube channel, they have previously been kind enough to confirm that most creators on YouTube would probably not be the kind of TV company that they expect you to have a license for to watch live. So if I do a live presentation on YouTube, I've done many of them before. I did lots of them before, weekly, in fact, but for some reason I always lost subscribers. But you don't need a TV license to watch me if I stream live on YouTube, just as if Charlie Veach streams live on YouTube, or our Al Robertshaw on Art of Law. Yes, it rhymes. I'll link him in the description below. If he streams live, maybe you should stream live on location at some point. Maybe let him know if you want him to do that. If he streams live, you don't need a TV license to watch him. Just Andy Signor, he is broadcasting live. Now, arguably, he comes closer to a TV company than most others because of the regular schedule and the sizable following that he's got. If you're not familiar, I'll link him in the description as well, since I've mentioned him. Is he a TV company? No, in my view, he's not, but it's not absolutely clear cut. And when I asked for a list of the BBC office, they said, no, we don't have a list. We can't give you a list, a definitive list of who is a TV company. And therefore, it's anyone's best guess, really. Whether the schedules and the editorial control and all this sort of stuff means that ultimately you should have a license, but that's vague. So I don't like vague. As a lawyer, I don't like vague. And if you're prosecuted and you are potentially going to be convicted of an offense, it can't be vague. It has to be accurate. So coming back to bullet point number 2 that says, watch live on streaming services like YouTube. That's just not true with respect to the guy that wrote this, because if you watch me live on streaming services like YouTube, you do not need a TV license to do that. I mean, it says a TV license covers you to do those things. But you don't need a TV license to do those things. And finally, I also have an issue with the 3rd bullet point. It says, use BBC iPlayer. That's not true either, because you can use BBC iPlayer, just not BBC programs on BBC iPlayer, because there is another program on BBC iPlayer that you can watch and do not need a TV license for, because it's on demand, it's not BBC, and the law only stipulates that you need a TV license if it is BBC programs on BBC iPlayer. And the final bit, I do agree with. This applies, such as it is, in the revised form with the modifications to the meaning that I've just given you, because I don't agree with, well, either of those 3 bullet points in their entirety, but such as it is with my amendments in my understanding, not legal advice you understand, but my understanding, it does apply to any device, including a TV, a computer, a laptop, phone, tablet, games console, or digital box. And he was kind enough to say, let me know if you have any further questions. I don't, actually. I have corrections, but I wanted an answer to my original question, which I did get, sort of. In the absence of a direct response, I got a response. My question was, is it possible to watch election news and live debates without a TV license? Because many of you have written in to me to say, can you do that? It should be, and as one of you, which is why I quoted it, one of you said, it should be a fundamental right to watch the election news and debate on TV to assist with your voting choice. I sort of agree. I think it should be a fundamental right to watch these debates, and so that you can be properly informed. How else are you going to cast your vote? Randomly? Just by picking a name? How else are you going to decide? Surely they can't force you to have, in an ideal world, surely they couldn't force you to have a TV license in order to watch this stuff to then decide who to vote for. That doesn't make sense. In my view, it should be a fundamental right, but alas, it isn't. In the absence of a direct response to that part of the question, I just assume they ignored it. They gave me the boilerplate, bog standard response, which is, with all respect, in my view, full of errors, because it's not entirely accurate. This bit should say, watch or record live TV on any channel. This should be watch TV program services live on streaming services, like all of these. And the 3rd one should be not use BBC iPlayer, watch BBC programs on BBC iPlayer. That's what it should say. But alas, I don't agree with what it said. But anyway, one way or another, we've come to an answer to the question, which is, in the absence of a direct response to the question that I put to the office for you guys that have written in, it remains unaddressed as it is. The answer, do you have a fundamental right to watch? No, as it seems, from the lack of direct response on that point. Maybe you should. Maybe someone should petition government to say there should be a fundamental right and an amendment to the Communications Act 2003 so that you do have a fundamental right to watch things like this. And maybe things like the coronation. We don't have them very often, but the things like the coronation and all sorts of other things that should really be fundamental to the democracy and the underpinning constitution of this country. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I personally think that should be a fundamental right, but in the lack of response, I get the boilerplate response, which is full of errors, with respect. But there we are. If you want to hear more about the TV license, I've got a lot more videos I can link in the description below. You can pop over and watch Chili John Carney, who's done, I think he's done 1 or 2 videos about TV licensing, and maybe a few others. So Oh, and Daniel Barnett, Barrister Daniel Barnett, has also covered TV licensing in the past. I will dig up one of his videos as well and link that in the description below as well. If I forget any of these, do shout at me because I often forget. But yes, I'm not the only barrister on YouTube. I actually met up with Daniel Barnett just recently, and we finally got together and had a chat. So if you haven't come across him before, I will link him in the description below as well. Tell him I said hi in the comments so it pops up and he knows. And because I doubt you'll watch this video. But with that, I thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, and I'll see you next time.